Hello all. Hello all. All right. Sound works. There we go. So last time we left off, we've kind of finished a set of unit tests for scenarios, or for the one part of the system. Then we added some new parsing, some new productions, and yeah. Now, and in the process of doing that, we kind of uncovered kind of a creeping rot within the recursive descent parser that I don't like. And in fact, also some creeping rot in the overall structure of how this whole system works that I'm kind of not okay with. So we need to fix that. And the best part, the creeping rot basically needs to be refactored. But before you refactor, you need to make tests. Sadly, this thing is so oddly put together right now that there are parts of it that really ought to be their own functions, and they are not. And yeah. So there actually needs to be some refactoring before the tests can be written properly. And so, yeah. I'm going to do a little bit more setup work to kind of let everybody know what's going on. Something didn't quite work the way it was supposed to. So let me fix this. So basically, trying to build an audience here. And part of that is telling everybody I'm here. we go. That should work. All right. So the first candidate for something to move out here is actually right here, this thing. And this whole entire thing here this whole entire thing here, extract. Well, that's interesting. We'll try this extract thing, because that's approximately what I want to do, but I don't want it to be a method. Tokenize range? Is that the right? I'll call it tokenize range. Tokenize input, maybe tokenize input. There we go. And no, that's not what we want here. No, that's not what we want either. It's doing the wrong thing. This is not what we want. No. So yes, we want to extract. And then here is what we're going to do. There. And this is going to be and then we're going to have to be we're going to have to do a bunch of stuff here. Now I understand why it was having so much difficulty. Now, it would be really nice if this wasn't a template function, but it almost has to be. Almost has to be. And we'll make it one for now. Yeah. this is going to be, the output of this is going to be a little too simplistic, but this is okay. Okay. So that's this. And then so we want this in here. And here we want like this. And actually, I don't even care about matches here. What I really want to do here is this. Basically make this a temporary that lives for just as long as it needs to. Put that up there. Like that. And then down here we would say return tokens. Now, what we kind of want here is we want something a little more sophisticated than that. But this is, as a first pass, this is sort of okay. Here we'll have class parse error. Yep. And then what we will do here, we want it to be public, but I think there's a way to basically say using the like that, and basically say, hey, I just want to inherit the constructor. Don't worry about it. And then here we say there we go, like that. So now we do this. All those asserts are valid. I am no longer using cin or cout in this thing. Overloads can still be a part of this thing eventually when we pull it out, which we will do. And now we can say tokens equals like that. Like that. That should be right. Oh, I don't want it to be a forward iterator. That's right. There we go. It needs to be an input iterator. That's right. Does this compile? It does not. Oh. I think I can fix this by saying this. And then put in match like that. Yes, and that's actually more correct usage as well. So I can say, and I can just drop the standard from here, just get, and that's fine. Get, and put match here. Get. It's got to be a way to do this as a standard refactoring step here. But this is what I know how to do right now, and I don't know how to fiddle with the IDE until I figure out how to do it more efficiently. Emacs, I can do it more efficiently really easily. It's a matter of just recording a series of key presses and replaying them over and over again, and I could easily make a series of key presses that would find the right spot to put the match back in. Let's see here. And here we need to do, again, get, and then match. In this particular case, we don't care about what we're assigning, but I kind of want to see the same structure for all of them, so I'm just going to leave it like this. And apparently I missed a spot. Indeed, I did miss a spot. I bet you yeah. I think it's a little bit awkward. I kind of understand why they did it, but I think it's a little bit awkward that get is a member function and Well, that's very interesting. So standard get wants a type name in here and not a string. And it gets very confused if you have a string. So this was entirely the wrong thing to do. I have to do some kind of like that. Is that the right way to do it? Where is the right place to insert the word template in here? Oh, how annoying. Let's hope this is the right thing to do. If not, I'm sure the compiler will complain about me. This is a very obnoxious feature of C++. And the reason why I have to put this template in here is related to the fact that this entire function is a template. But I find that it's just annoying. It's just annoying. The entire function is a template, and so there's something about match that's dependent on the template type. And so it wants me to insert template randomly into this expression for that reason. It might want me to put the template before the match. I don't know. I'm guessing it wants me to put it before the get, just to indicate that I'm expecting the get member of match to be a template, because it's not necessarily obvious from context that it's supposed to be a template. I don't know. That is my guess as to why it's demanding that I put template there. Oh, yes, I forgot to remove match from these two, and so of course it's going to error out. Now let's try. So the standard get can't handle string arguments. It expects a type argument or it expects an integer. And it can handle those two, but it can't handle a string as an argument. And so then, otherwise, if it could handle a string as an argument, it would then automatically call, match.get on this thing with the appropriate things all around. But since it can't, it can't. Okay. This supposedly works. Let's see what happens if I run Lexer test. Build it. Because it should build now. Oh, by the way, I used a terrible hack that I will show you in just a bit. No. Okay. It's still doing the thing that it's supposed to be doing. So that change fixed that problem. Okay. And of course, if we introduce a parse error, yes, I'm going to use Vim. And we're going to put in an @ sign here because that will cause it to fail lexing. And then, instead of getting down here and throwing the parse error, it just stops. I'm going to do this. There. And it has backslash. Will that work? That did not work. It does not like \s. Or \, capital S. Oh, I know part of the reason why it doesn't like it. First of all, I should do that. That probably still won't help. But, yes. We'll see what happens when I do that. Is it like that? No, it doesn't like that either. Let's look at the so capital S should work, and it is not. Oh, I know why. This was dumb of me. Had nothing to do with that. It's because I'm missing that. That's why it didn't like it. It's missing the close parent. There we go. Backslash. There we go. Unexpected token at. Called after throwing. That's exactly what I expected. Okay. Then we'll remove this. And that works just great. Okay, good. Now I'm getting the appropriate throw when it encounters a bad token, which is something I'd never tested previously to make sure that the bad token worked. And so it never worked, honestly. I just fixed it. Which is why I should have made a test suite from the very beginning. If I'd made a test suite from the very beginning, this function would actually have been broken out into its own thing at the very beginning. Yeah. This, yeah. uh, this visitor is interesting because these individual lambdas actually need what they should be taking in is they need something to be printing to. But there's no real way to provide it. Yeah, I'll think about that in the future. Right now, I'm going to concentrate on this, and I'm just going to go there. Want to keep it less 72 characters or less so that when I do this on an 80 column display, this all still fits. Like if I move this down and made it 80 columns, it doesn't have a listing of how many columns it has on here. But I bet, not C, STTY-A. Oh, that's 84 columns. So it actually needs to be 68 characters or less. Well, I will just have to fix that commit message then. Yes. Mood make tokenization and fixed. And echo, what we're going to do here is we're going to do echo. That's too few, and so I want to see whether 80 columns actually works with 68 characters is right for 80 columns, just so that I remember it. What the heck? Oh, that's because this is still 84 columns. This is now 80 columns. And then like this. And that still works good. Okay, 68 columns it is. All right. So the ... is an indication that there's more information in the rest of the commit message. There. That bug being improper handling of tokenization failure. No, improper detection of tokenization failure. There we go. So there, and then if we do this, see, then we get to see the full message. I like doing that, so when you do HD log on an 80 column display, you know, they all nicely fit, right? That's why I like the 68 column thing. Let's see here. What's my are the parameters I have set up for this in terms of the bigger profile is 120 columns. Okay, I'll have to remember that. 120 columns. Let's see how many columns. There's probably a way to get STTY to just tell me how many columns there are, but I don't know it. And this works. I bet half of you didn't even know the STTY command existed. But there you go. It does. Okay. So that's moved in. Now we're going to use an AI to write to write code. So here we go. This is not quite right, but that's okay. Okay. We can apply this. And then fix it so that it's correct, because it is not correct as it is. So I didn't ask the AI to fix it because I know what needs to be fixed here. What needs to be fixed here is the wrong thing is being called. We want tokenized input. That's what we want here. here we want tokenize, again, input. There. And this will generate the correct thing. Oh. It got more wrong than I wanted to. I'm going to have to ask it to fix it. There. There we go. That's the test that I need. I'm amused that it picked the same unexpected token that I chose, the @ sign. So now we will apply this. All right. Yes, there we go. This all looks good. We will accept it all, and then I will go through again just to make sure that it's right. Tokens, blah, 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 and require that we have 7 of them, and then we go through each one of them to make sure 0 through 6 that each one of them is right. Okay, we should see what is the string? X plus equals 42 plus 3. Okay, X equal 42 operator plus 3 operator multiply Y. It's slightly wrong here because there's 8 tokens actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 tokens. And then here, There we go. All right. Now let's look at this one. Unsigned integer. Indeed. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No trailing semicolon. Got 5 here. Got that. This works. It's an unsigned integer. That it's an operator. That it's the plus operator. That it's an unsigned integer again. That it's 755. Yep, it's all good. That's right. Interesting that it missed the semicolon in the first. It didn't miss the semicolon in the first one. No, it didn't. It did miss the semicolon in the first one. First one, it put a semicolon in, and it didn't check for it. Huh, it's amusing. And here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, it missed. I don't know why it miscounted, but it miscounted. It's 6. It's got a paren, and the kind of paren is open. And then it's got an A, an identifier A. Then it's got operator minus, good. And it's got the identifier B, and it's got the close paren. And it completely misses actually checking to make sure that the semicolon is there. How amusing. It has this blindness about the trailing semicolon, and I wonder why. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 6 of them. 6 tokens, blah, blah, blah. Got it. Okay. X equals 42 at Y. At requires throws with tokenized input. There we go. Let's see here. And managing some stuff. Is the text more legible given some of the new stream settings that I have? Just wanting to make sure that going for this 4K streaming actually works. I'm actually going to look into an alternate method of 4K streaming soon. There's a nice plugin for OBS called Item, AITUM, that looks like it should be able to do it and do it well, as opposed to how it's being done right now, which is one of the reasons why a lot of people can't see the 4K stream on Twitch. So that should also allow me to up it. Right now I have reduced the frame rate to 15 frames per second, which probably makes my movement look a little like weird because it's kind of oddly choppy. I figured that for a coding stream it's not hugely important, but it would be nice to have it be at least 30 frames a second. Um, have a viewer on YouTube and maybe soon a viewer on Twitch too. I've actually been getting these people who've been wanting to, been like offering their services and boosting my stream, and I don't necessarily want to take advantage of that. Although friends watching is kind of the same thing. Um, but I mean, yes. I don't know. It just feels scummy to hire a service somehow. So I don't think I'm going to do it. They approached me on Rumble, actually. Now let's see here. This. So I also got a I need to get on Twitch's chat so that I can ban somebody appropriately who I do not want in my chat at all on Twitch. In fact, I want them kicked off of Twitch because that kind of thing just shouldn't be there. So, let's see about this guy. There. All right. Okay. Now let's see here. What's next after this? So we have this test. Explicit that I used AI here. All right, then. Let's see about seeing if I can't get Claude to add more tests for me. Yep, that's true. It should have a couple of empty cases. Yep. I actually think the white space only tests are. All right, then. Let me double check to make sure that first of all, let me double check. I love how Claude is happy with anything I decide to do. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. AIs have become very agreeable these days. It's kind of annoying. I find them less useful when they're that agreeable. Anyway, my stream setup. I'm trying to work on making my streaming setup work better. One thing is I really need to stream in 4K for text fidelity so that everybody can read things. Because otherwise, the technique it uses to squish it down to 1080p instead of 2160p that technique causes the text to become blurry, which is annoying. I mean, I could experiment with different techniques and hope I can find one where the text is not blurry, but I think that easier is just to stream in 4K instead. But the problem is Twitch has a difficult time with 4K, and it has a way to make 4K work better, which is that you send it multiple streams in several different resolutions, and then the whole thing works better. And maybe people watching Twitch then might get muddied text or not. I don't know. But it would enable Twitch to work better. Restream can't do that. But this item plugin that I would like to get working for OBS can do that. The problem is I'm using the Flatpak version of OBS for Linux. And the Flatpak version of OBS has a bunch of plugins that can be installed sort of as an adjunct to the Flatpak. The problem is that the version of item that's there is a very old version of item. They apparently are not updating their Flatpak. I've asked them to update their Flatpak. I didn't get a response. I should check to see whether their Flatpak works better now. And if they don't update their Flatpak, I might have to resort to compiling it myself and putting it in. I don't know what I'm going to do. But I think the item plugin is a better way to multi-stream than Restream is, even though Restream handles the chat, which is nice. But if I used item, I could actually add X as well, although I don't know that streaming to X is useful. But maybe kick, I could add kick. I don't know whether that would be useful or not. Restream, I'm limited to 3 with the plan that I purchased. They want even more money, like Restream just wants more and more and more money for more and more and more features, and they're very like trying to sell you on everything, and yeah, it's very annoying. I don't like it. So yeah. Anyway, that's what's going on with streaming for me right now. Okay, so I added this test, and let's see here. Let's make sure that all these tests run. Oh, that's this. I don't need this. I want this. Let's make sure that all these tests run. This was not quite right, and so we're going to I don't know how matchers contain substring. Here, we'll do this. Overly precise in my opinion, but there we go. Okay. And now I'm not going to do the commit again, but I'm just going to do amend, because really this shouldn't be a new commit. I should just replace the commit that I committed because it wasn't quite complete. So there we go. Yep, that's exactly what we're looking for. Okay. So that part is done. Now let's start doing some refactoring here. So that all this tokenization stuff can be put into its own thing. So the problem here is that some of what I would like to do would involve putting this into something that wasn't a header file. But I don't think I can do that because this one function is a template. I also don't think that tokenize test and tokenizer belong in here anymore. So yeah. These don't belong in here, and I think they're redundant. I might make the tokenizer more sophisticated and record things about the positions of the token, in which case I will then have to update these tests or add to these tests to make sure that the token positions end up being correct when I do things, including when I add white space and stuff. As it is, there's no token positions. This thing looks at the entire match string, which includes all the leading white space. And so that kind of checks on token position. But I don't think it's that useful. I don't really care about the leading white space. All I really care is that it knows where the token begin and end and what the text of the token is. And that it got the right token. That's all I really care about. And this all tests that. It doesn't test where the token is because I'm not even trying to record that right now. But it does test everything else I really care about. And then this one is an abstraction for I don't know what I was doing here. This was when I was having difficulty with feeding the input into it and trying different methods of doing that. And I found one that worked, and then I didn't need it anymore. And I don't think that it's useful. So I think I'm just going to delete these. And I think then it will still compile after I delete it. Indeed it will. Okay. That's a separate commit. Okay, so we removed some dead code. I should have double checked that it ran, but if it compiled, there's no good reason why it didn't run. Not see here. Now let's pull out all the stuff involving tokens, which also means this should probably parse result token list t. Actually, this means that this should be of type token list t. Yes, that's what that should be. And it should still compile and run. Yes. Okay. Parse node. So let's try and move this by refactoring it and moving it into the namespace. First of all, let's try refactoring this. Extract. Let's see here. I think there's under the edit menu here, there's refactor, which is one of the reasons to use this editor. Maybe it's in code here. Code cleanup, inspect code, analyze code, code completion, comment folding, reformat code. No. Refactor. There, I have a whole menu of it. But the menu doesn't have anything in it. Well, that's annoying. And then there's a refactor here. Maybe if I right-click on it, I will get some kind of refactor option. Nothing here. Okay. What happens? The reason I want to refactor this instead of just moving it, like what happens if I do this, right? And then put it in here. It's where it belongs, right? But now, there we go. I can do that. Then I can try a refactor here. rename it. That's not what I want to do. There we go. I now set it up so that every place where I'm mentioning tokless t, I now am. There we go. Okay, that worked. Now I can see what happens about refactoring this. Not safe delete. It won't let me do that. Oh my. Okay. Well, I guess the only thing to do here to put this up here. One of the reasons I want to put all this stuff in this namespace is now I'm going to move the namespace someplace else. So first, no, that's not what I want to do. What happens if I now... There we go. Now if I do this... Oh, it doesn't allow me to do inline. Maybe if I select the whole thing, it'll allow me to do inline. Because what I'm trying to do here is get the thing to make changes in code that I know it knows how to make. And it won't do it. Well, at least what I can do here is I can also do this. And so we're using later when I change this to be an include file, because what I want to do is I want to move all of this stuff into a header file is what I want to do. And so I will be changing it to not use this. And then this also needs to move. Yeah, this gets to move inside of tokens here. Anyway, I'm thinking about how to do this with the printer to make the printer better. But yeah. Um, so this gets moved here. That should work. That should work. I'm not using auto. Yeah, I'm not using auto at all. Maybe it wants this, like that. That's probably what it wants. No, it isn't what it wants. Maybe it wants ts ... like that. Oh, this is because this wasn't intended to be parse error. What the heck? This is a different kind of error. Something got messed up here. There we go. Now, this can be a throw of tokenize error. And then we can take this. I don't think we're actually using parse error right now, but it was misnamed. It should never have been called parse error. It should have been called tokenize error, and it should be declared up here. All right, that's better. It does to name it O. Right there. There we go. All right. That's correct now. Let's see if it runs. And these belong in here as well. There we go. All right. There. It's into, not in. Da, 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 da. Yep. This is the baseline for the one that's almost too long. 2 more dots and it would be fine. It would be too long. It would be the exact length, and so this is a way to see if the messages that I have are too long, which they are not. Okay. Now, what happens if we do this? Oh, come on, you silly thing. Gets confused about focus. There. Still confused about focus. No, you have focus now. There. Now it's no longer confused about focus. JetBrains really does not like focus follows mouse. So now we're going to see about trying to move all of this into a header file and see if that's a refactoring that this can do. No. 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 Here. Is there anything in the refactor menu? No. File menu? No. Alright. Well, then we're just going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. Boink. And then we'll make a new header. Doesn't have the, I need to give the appropriate options here. Okay. Now we're going to alright, namespace tokens. This should be good. Now we have to have the appropriate set of include files. So here, first of all, and now we have to no longer have to do this terrible hack. Yep, so now we go into here, look at the things that we were including. We're including Hey, where are we including the CTRE stuff? Oh, I guess we're doing it here, and that's the only place we're doing it. Okay. We don't actually care about it except in here. And we care about string. What else do we care about? Yes, we care about all of these things. Do we care about format? We do care, well, in a comment we care about format. How about in real code? In real code we do not currently care about format. We will care about variant and we will care about iterator. And I'm going to remove this code that cares about this. Okay. Now will it build? Woohoo! Okay. Does Lexer test build? And it will not build because yes. So here in Lexer test 1 we don't have to, but we still do care about this. We don't care about this anymore. We don't really care about this anymore. Do we care about this? No. Do we care about vector? No. Care about string independently? Do we care about string independently? We care about string view. We do care about string. There we go. Okay. And we care about string view. And we care about format. Care about memory. Care about unordered map because of the care about type traits. We don't care about FMT format. And what else do we care about? Like there. But do we care about any? So let's look here. We've got pair. Where is pair from? So let's look at std pair in this. Utility. It's in utility. So we care about utility. For pair, what other parts do we not care about? Parse result t. Well, that's just because that didn't work. Tokens. Decal val, I think, is also in utility. Yes, that is also in utility. And what else? Decal val. Yeah. And so, yep, we do care about cassert. Okay. 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 works. Okay, so there, that refactoring is set up. So now all the stuff about tokens is now in its own file, which makes it much easier to find and look at. If we want to do stuff with tokens, we know where to go to look. Look in here. Now, as far as making this print here more generic, I really don't know what to do about making the print more generic for the printing out the list of tokens, which is being done here. And there's a main here. Somewhere there's a main. There we go. There. That's not main. There's the main. Here, we get our tokens. And then once we have our tokens, our list of tokens, we then print them out. And it would be really nice if this generic visitor here for printing didn't just dump them to CN. And if it was in fact a little more sophisticated than that. Ideally, it would actually work with format. So you could just could make one that gave you, you could just format a variant, the token variant, and it would work with std visit. But I'm not sure what to do, how to do that. We're going to leave this here for now, but I don't like that this is here. This should be refactored into something a little more general. The parser is for the most part fine. Yeah. Now I needed to make up a bunch of tests for the parser. Honestly, what I need to do is I need to move the parser out into its own header as well. Yes, I need to move the parser out into its own header. This is going to be another 2 or 3 hours worth of work, so I know some of you might have bed. I don't want you to lose sleep over me. So, yes. But what I'm going to be doing next, before I finish up here in an hour or two, is I'm going to be taking all of this parser stuff and moving it into its own header file and implementation file, because it uses virtual functions. Almost all of this, in fact, can be implemented in its own file. It isn't all based in templates, and so I can make most of it invisible to the top level program, which is nice. And once I do that, then I can write tests that test just the parser portion. Maybe feeding it instead of relying on the tokenizer to work. Well, I don't know. Since I have a separate test for the tokenizer, I think I can just rely on the tokenizer to work and then feed the output of the tokenizer into the parser directly. So, yeah, I think that's what I will do. But then I can write up a bunch of tests just for the parser. And once I write up a bunch of tests just for the parser to try and catch as many edge cases as I can for the parser, then I can start actually redoing the parser to get rid of a lot of these special cases involving searching for, if I see this token, I know that when I'm in an expression and doing this and then see that token, that means there's an error. It's like, no, that's not how I should be doing error detection. All of that special case code should be removed. As soon as it fails, it should just assume that that's as much as it got. Like, it didn't get If it got anything, that's as much as it got. If it didn't get something, like if I started trying to parse a factor, for example, and I didn't get anything, I got a closed parent, for example, and I started to parse a factor, well, that just means I couldn't parse a factor, and I should return like a null parse result, not like throw an error. And various other things like that. Like I should be just assuming as little as possible about things and moving the error handling up to, or the parse error handling up to a higher level where it makes sense, rather than checking for various kinds of parse errors at the lower level, and having special case kinds of aborts with special case messages when I encounter a parse error at lower levels. It should all be moved up to a level where it's inevitable that there's a parse error instead. That's what I should be doing. Because that's the problem here, is there's a whole big bunch of special case code in there. Every time I add a new production, that means that I need to go through all the special cases and make sure they're appropriate now for the new set of productions that's in place. And it's an unsustainable way to do this. So that's the whole goal, is to be able to fix that. In order to fix that, I have to have a rigorous set of tests to make sure that I'm not breaking what I currently have. So, yeah. And in order to have that rigorous set of tests, I need to make main smaller. All of this stuff about the parsing should go into its own thing. Parse node, yeah. All that stuff. All that good stuff. Oh, that's kind of ugly. But there we go. Op names. Yep. This is actually still part of main, isn't it? No, this is part of binary operations, so it would end up. And this is ugly. Like, I need to do something about this. I think when I need to make a parse context is what I need. And, or an evaluation context. Yes, I need to make an evaluation context for holding identifiers, which means I need to modify evaluate to take the evaluation context. Because this global variable here, identifiers, this is just wrong. This is not what we should have. But temporarily, that's what we're going to have, because the goal of the refactoring to make tests possible is to make as few changes as possible. Just move things around and change names, and that's basically it. That's the goal. Anyway. Let's see here. What's next? Anybody have any questions about anything? All right. And I'll go on to, first of all, I've been talking a lot. Oh, yep, I need to commit a whole big bunch of stuff. In fact, all of this stuff needs to be committed. And again, want to make sure that this is going to be 68 characters or less. So I've got 10 more characters. Too many characters. There we go. Why am I doing this? To make sure that the first line of the commit message is small enough to fit in 80 columns. All right. So that's that change. With the, see, the nice thing is, and then the dot 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 tells you there's more stuff. So then you go tip-v, and then you'll see all the rest. But the first line, the tip, tells you the single line thing that is the best, most succinct description of what happened, so that you don't have to move everything. People don't feel the need to expand unless they want to more fully understand what it's about. But I always leave a dot 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 at the end when there is an expansion to tell people there's more than one line here, so that they know that there is something to expand, to like a longer log message to look at if they want to. Just good practice in writing log messages. Maybe I should copy this copyright message. I don't know. I should create a copyright message template or something. It's got lots of warnings. Oh, I suppose that evaluate should be marked no discard. Well, unreachable code, that's kind of amusing. Well, indeed, that is unreachable code. All right. There's also, yeah, okay. A lot of those warnings are valid. I probably should clean them up. I've been ignoring them. These ones, no, that's not a typo. I did it on purpose. Yes, it's kind of a cryptic, acronymish name. Sue me. Okay. Now we've gone through that. Procrastinated on creating this new header file. We'll call it parser.hbp. And I'm going to add it to source control. Indeed. This probably needs to be renamed from Lexer test at some point in time. But, okay, so parse node. All of this stuff is all parse related. There. It's going to have its own namespace. Like that. I kind of don't like that it does this, because honestly, good practice is to do this. And I really should have done that in the tokenizer file too. You put this comment at the end of your thing because why do you do that? Because normally you don't want an indent for your entire namespace, but the lack of an indent then makes this close parent or close brace really mysterious. Like, it's just a close brace hanging out in the middle of nowhere. What are you closing? Also, this close brace is usually really far from the open brace, so it'd be very nice to know exactly what the heck it was you were closing. So you just put a comment there to tell people what you're closing. I think I can do this. And then put okay. There was something too that changed. This file changed. Tokens.hpp changed. I told you that it changed. That's why I put it on this list here. I am annoyed by this behavior of amend. That's all right. Oh, that's the reason why. So, yep, no parser. Okay. Still this, still the changes here. Good. Good. And if I do hgcat-r-tip tokens.hpp, and there, that changes there. Okay, good. I put the comment in and then committed, like amended my commit to have the comment there. Oh, joys. Oh, I know what I need to do here. Like that. That's what I need to do. And then it works. All right. All right, now let's see here. What else needs to be moved? That's appropriate kind of in here. String view literals. The only places where I use I use them in here too. So we'll do this. And then here we're going to take all of this stuff and move it into, we are going to create an HPP. Yes. First, what types do we need for this? We need memory, Yep, that's what we need. C stdint for uint max t here. That's where it's supposed to live. Anyway. And then we're going to create a like this. That should help a lot. And copy over this. There we go. There. Like that. That should help. And we also want to include like that. And then here, I don't know if using namespace declaration is allowed here. We'll see. Okay, does Lexer test build now? Oh. I am not allowed to using namespace here. But this is a CPP file, so I can do it up here. It's wrong about C standard lib. It's right about utility, type traits, and C assert. I think it's wrong about C standard lib. I'm not sure. Do I use C standard int? Not sure about that either. Let's see if it builds now. And indeed, that is what I mean. this work. That took a lot less time than I thought it would take. Let's run all tests. That worked. All right. Now we need to add the parser tests. I'm actually starting to get a little tired. I think I'm going to end in 20 minutes. I think I can get most of the parser tests added in 20 minutes. Yes. And my movement of parser.cpp into its own CPP file was kind of quick and dirty, but it worked. And it's not a bad thing. I want to be a little more careful about the interface and maybe tighten this up a bit. Change parse statement, or have a parse top level that is called, and that's actually the only part that exists in here, is parse node and parse top level. Yeah. And it still thinks that these things should be marked no discard, which it's right, they should be marked no discard. Especially since, they're const, right? They're definitely no discard. Like, why are you using them if you're not using the return value? Because they're not supposed to really have any side effects. That's okay. This, I think, is way too long. Yep, I need to chop out 7 characters from it. There we go. That captures. That works. All right. Now we'll add a new test. And this will get added to the all test target. Yep, want to add it to that. Move it over here. Copy the copyright statement. Okay. So now let's see here. What did we include here? And we want parser.hpp. Now we'll ask it to fill this in. From my grammar production standpoint. So I'm going to ask the AI to write me some tests. I'm going to ask it to catch edge cases from a grammar production standpoint, not okay. We will apply this without looking at it too closely, and then we will look at the result of the apply in here. Yep, the AI understands exactly what I'm trying to do and why, which is nice. Basically, the prefix output, the prefix expression output, is intended to be a Lisp S expression, a Lisp S expression, because, it's right, I said postfix and I meant prefix, because Lisp S expressions are very unambiguous about the tree structure, and in fact, Lisp requires you to be very explicit about the tree structure for everything. There is no precedence, operator precedence, or anything like that in Lisp. Plus is just another identifier as far as Lisp is concerned. And so, yeah, this is that's exactly why I did that, is because it makes it really easy to see the tree structure. So, yeah. It's nice that it understood that. Okay. So let's see how well the AI did as far as tests. Whenever you have AI do something, you should always, we're just going to have it, this is a brand new file. It's not like it's going to mess anything up if I accept all. So I'm just going to accept all and then go through and look at it all. And in this case, I'm just going to make this really wide like that. Do it this way. Okay. I don't know that I really need to test the infix string, but I'm going to anyway. So let's make sure. A simple numeric literal. Tokenize it. And it goes, I did get a result, and the remainder was at the end, so that's good. So basically, I parsed all of the tokens. That's what this is about. And I notice it's very, very adamant about, or very consistent about actually doing that every time. So that's nice. But I will make sure that it never falters in its consistency. As I said, you don't trust what an AI prints out, because it's often wrong in some small and subtle way. And vibe coding your way into making it work is just dumb. Don't do that. Just figure out what it's saying and then fix it. Statement list returns 0. So, no, that's not what it should return. Evaluate should in fact return, in this case, 42. If let me double check here with parser.cpp, but I think we look at parser.cpp here, we can see that evaluate for, what does evaluate for statement list do? No, it always returns 0. That's very annoying. Oh, that's very annoying. So we're going to make statement lists return the value of the last statement evaluated. And we're just going to say result here. And here we're just going to say return result. There. And that's going to be parser CPP. Yep. All right then. Okay, so we're gonna have to fix the results for all of them here because I want this to actually okay. All the tokens are parsed. Parse statement da 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 da. Going to have to infix string. Is it really going to be x equals 42 semicolon? It shouldn't be. It should be just one semicolon. That should be about right. Yep, and then progan plus 2. Yep. That's all correct. And again, we're going to add an evaluate step to all of these. For this one, what do assignment statements return? So evaluate for always returns 0 for assignment. So there we go. There we go. That way we can make sure that precedence, like, this is all well and good, like making sure that your prog-n works the way you expect it to work, that comes out the way it's supposed to. But really, the proof is this. Like, that's the thing that you should do here. That works. And there, because 5 times 4 is 20. Right associative, so 2 minus 3 minus 4. Oh my. We are going to change this to being 8 minus 5 minus 2. So 8 minus 3 would be, 8 minus 3 would be 5, but 8 minus 5 is 3, minus 2 is 1. And here, change this comment to this, because we want to avoid negatives, because I don't want to test the way negative numbers actually work here. Oh, this, of course, is the it's a right to this is all wrong. I'm actually, this caught an error, and I'm going to have to fix it so that this doesn't generate that error anymore. But for right now, the answer should be 1. Currently, the answer is 5, and it shouldn't be 5. It should be 1. but we'll fix it later to make it 5. It has to do with the way I handle the recursion. I need to handle the recursion differently. It needs to be, as it said, right associative. And so, yes. How to make it right associative. That's a really tricky proposition, how to make it right associative. I will figure it out. Because I want to make it right associative and have the grammar work correctly. And so here we're going to get a result of 30. That statement lists do the thing that you expect them to do, not there we go. Why does it think I have multiple semicolons? If I do, that's a bug and it needs fixing. But it is very convinced that I put multi-semicolon or multiple semicolons at the ends of my assignment statement. So if I do, I need to fix it. Here, 2 plus 3, I nested, so 2 plus 3, 5 times 3 is 15, so that's the answer. It should be 15. I mean, yes, although that's basically just testing the tokenizer, but what the heck, we should test the tokenizer too. So, 551. Yeah, we're just going to give up on this. This comment is pointless and superfluous. Like, what the heck am I even trying to comment here, right? This stupid repetitive comment is just dumb. It doesn't tell you anything. Some of these other comments are great. Okay, this correct. Oh, I already did this one. And then this one here. Oh my. Well, we're going to, it needs to return 0. Empty statement list return 0. That works. Okay. These all look good. Aha! Now we get to the fact that the CMake list file is not correct. So we're going to fix the CMake list file to also say that it requires there. And we do this. compile. Okay, let's run it. Whee! Okay, so a bunch of things failed. Well, this looks like there's a bug in parser, where identifier does the wrong infix. Identifier's infix thing does the wrong thing. So let's look at not parse term. Let's look at first of all, this belongs in parser.hpp. Now, let's look at this. Assignment statement should not print out a semicolon. There we go, like that. Let's see if that helps. Should at least have a couple more tests succeeding. Maybe they'll all succeed. Oh, well, you know, it would help if I actually changed the expression. Oh, indeed. There we go. All passed. Good. All right. So that is all good. We now have a set of tests that will test our parse nodes, and I think that is it for me today as far as things. And let's make sure. Just barely. Okay. There. All right. So now we've added test suites for things. That will make it easier for us to start messing around with the parser, and then we have a test suite to make sure that we didn't break the parser, or a test suite to alter to grammar we have here. It's right. It's right associative. It should not be right associative. It should be left associative. It's a huge pain to make that work. But I can make that work. I'm going to have to think a little bit about exactly how to make that work. I know how to change the production so that the production does it the other way around. And this is what I should have done in the first place. For example, expression can look like this. And I should use equals consistently here, although it was smart enough to realize that that's what I did. But I should do this. I should say that is how it should look. Then it's the proper kind of associative. But that isn't how it looks currently. And because that's not how it looks, it does everything in the wrong order. It does everything in left to right order instead of right to left order. And yeah, shouldn't do that. And it's the AI that, it's the AI written tests pointed this out to me, and I'm glad it wrote a test that tested that. In order to test that, you have to use non-commutative operators in order to test that properly. And so, use non-commutative operators. And these, minus is not commutative. You can't switch. 8 minus 5 is not the same thing as 5 minus 8. And once you do that, then it matters whether you're doing left to right or right to left. If you're doing things like multiply or addition, it doesn't matter which order you do them in. Right to left, left to right works just fine because it's commutative. But for subtraction, it's not commutative, and so it does matter. The same thing for division. It's not commutative, and so it does matter whether you're doing it left to right or right to left. And so I need to fix that. And I'll do that. I'll fix that. That's the first thing on the block to fix next time. As it is, I'm done now, and I hope it's been educational. Anybody, any questions before I sign off for the evening? All right. No questions. I'll wait for just a little bit longer because I know the Twitch delay can be a little bit long. Nope, no questions. All right. So, with that, I wish you all